like Aaron Rodgers has been for the last 12, 14 years, however many years he's been starting. He's kind of that guy. He's the great passer, the great improviser, plays with a lot of athletic arrogance, which is a compliment. You know, he's very confident in his ability. He's very poised, doesn't get rattled, and he's got an arm that, you know, is really, really good. And he can make all the throws they're asking him to make, and some that they're not even asking him to make that just show up in his improvisations. So, you know, and he's good in the pocket, has great pocket feel. You can tell he's a gamer. You know, the guy is really, really special.
High compliments from Fangio, but going into detail explaining why he believes that. Do you think that it's fair at this point to compare Patrick Mahomes to guys like Elway and Rodgers?
Well, first, I think it's important that our fans realize who John Elway was.
I'm so glad you said that.
Because people forget that he was a great baseball player. He was had the ability to be able to go into Major League Baseball, but he decided on a football career. And John Elway was an unbelievable athlete. Most people who do remember him at the end on a Terrell Davis, a defensive warrior, a Shannon Sharp team. But John Elway was an incredible athlete. Before his knees gave out on him, John Elway could scramble to his left or right, throw the ball as far as you want. There's a legendary play, him playing against Ohio State, rolling all the way to his left, throwing all the way back against a nationally ranked Ohio State team, you know, when he was with the Stanford Cardinals. So for me, when he brings up John Elway, oh, I give respect to that. That's how you get to 5 Super Bowls. Man, John Elway was a bad dude, can make any type of throw and was a type of leader. He was one of those original John Wayne type of quarterbacks. And you had to knock him out the game. John Elway, man, is really one of the greatest quarterbacks. And I believe he's underrated, especially when he lost those first 3 Super Bowls. But Patty Mahomes does have that. And I love to see coaches that's not hyperbole. They're not adding anything to it. He picked a name from the past that's exactly right. Either Brett Favre, either Elway, either Marino. Those are the kind of people we should be talking about when we talk about Patrick Mahomes, because that's type of a special ability that he has. He has that athletic arrogance. I love to hear the coach talk about that.
And said it was a compliment. Wanted to make sure everyone knew that he was saying that in a nice way, not a condescending
and
way.
All those other guys, they had it, and they had it in spades. Marino, most confident dude that I ever saw. Elway, a walking arrogant, pigeon-toed, walking around. John Elway was a bad dude, and we know about Brett Favre. So Patrick Mahomes, I love to hear these coaches when they dip into history and they bring that up and compare it to what we're seeing now, because you could look at them and be like, wow, I can't believe, yeah, there was a Patty Mahomes before him, and it was one of those guys.
If I can just quickly expand on the Elway point. You guys know I grew up in Kansas City. I grew up with John Elway just ruining my life year after year after year with the fourth quarter comebacks. You thought Derek Thomas had knocked him out of the game, and he had not. And there is almost no all-time great quarterback who the numbers do more injustice to than John Elway, because his career quarterback rating sub 80. Nah, man. Before Tom Brady reset all the record books, no quarterback's ever started more Super Bowls than Elway. He went to 5 of them. Yep. Before Tom Brady, to me, when I was college age, the discussion of who the greatest modern era, take Unitas and Sammy Ball out of it, quarterbacks are, it was about Montana, Marino, and John Elway.
Yep.
And so when I watch Patrick Mahomes, you do see some of those same things. I don't think he has the physical toughness that Elway did, and I don't think he's as bulky as Elway was. But again, I'm going to go back to an observation you made a few weeks ago that keeps coming up, and that's the baseball thing.
Yes.
That is and I know Favre and Rodgers weren't baseball players. Those are just guys with two of the greatest
Marino
arms
and Elway
ever.
were.
Marino and Elway were, and Russell Wilson was. And his ability to, at a moment's notice, and I look silly when I do it, but drop his arm down, because what you will see tonight, if you watch the game closely on Fox, I guarantee it, is Von Miller flash or a different guy flash with a hand up. And Patrick Mahomes the window is right through his arm, and he will drop it to the side and do that. And that almost preternatural ability to see that and have the arm talent to do it, that is what to me, separates him, people from a Deshaun Watson. And I love Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson is, I think, going to be a potential league MVP. But there is something about his ability to beat you no matter what defense you are presenting him with and no matter what is in his face, that you do have to pull back some of the greatest of all time, of which Elway is, of course, one.
Great stuff. All right, coming up, will Sunday's Eagles-Cowboys matchup decide who wins the NFC East? That's ahead on First Things First.